Why do we underestimate the influence of the situation on people's behavior? What is the fundamental attribution error? The fundamental attribution error (FAE) describes how, when making judgments about people's behavior, we often overemphasize dispositional factors and downplay situational ones. 5 In other words, we believe that people's personality traits have more influence on their actions, compared to the other factors over which they don't have control. Generally speaking, the FAE happens because adjusting our perception to account for the situation takes effort, and we might not always have the time or cognitive resources to do so. Other times, we ignore the situation because we believe that it's not relevant, instead seeing behavior as diagnostic of certain personality traits. Example 1. Social science and the FAE. As Lee Ross wrote when he coined this bias, the impact of many classic social psychology studies depends on the pervasiveness of the FAE. The only reason that studies such as the Milgram experiment are so surprising is because people, even psychologists, are susceptible to the belief that a person's disposition is more powerful in the situation. Example 2. The FAE and racial bias. Research has shown that attributional complexity, which makes people less likely to commit the FAE, is inversely correlated with racial bias. In other words, the more attributional complexity, the less racism. In a nutshell, avoiding the FAE requires empathy and a deliberate effort to achieve a more balanced view of a person and their circumstances. Building emotional intelligence and gratitude for a person's good qualities is helpful. Recap. The fundamental attribution error describes how very overemphasize a person's internal traits when trying to explain their behavior, and underemphasize situational factors.